Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Fusion. In the last episode, we tracked down the security robot. We defeated it, we got ourselves the wave beam, and ended up in an area that we weren't supposed to be in, a restricted area where they were breeding Metroids. The SAX, however, was tracking us, found the restricted area and proceeded to blow it up, and it ejected into space. So after that, we headed back to Sector 1, defeated Ridley X, and now we're on cleanup duty. Going to be picking up some items or upgrades that we missed. So, we're done with Sector 4 already. We're not done with Sector 6 yet, but I am skipping through to Sector 5 to pick up one more thing here. We're just missing a missile expansion from this area. And the reason that I'm doing that, even though we have stuff left to get in Sector 6, is that I'm going to be ending off our, I don't know, call it a loop of sorts, but, you know, our cleanup in there. So let's see, we're gonna want to head through this area, I believe. Actually, can we can't get through that. I remember. That's what makes this kind of annoying. You have to take the other route to get there. So let's see. Yep, I'm gonna need a speed booster. But yeah, I want to end up there for a specific reason. I'll get into it more once we actually kind of get to that. So we're heading to the right. And let's see. Yep, we need to keep going right, and then we're going to go down. And so we want to actually go to the right. Yep. I'm checking the map again. What is this? So I believe you can get this one as soon as you have the space jump. So I might have been able to pick this one up earlier than I did, but oh well. We're getting it now, and we're done with Sector 5, and that's what matters. Now I need to head back up. We're going to be going for Sector 3 next, and that's probably the sector with the most upgrades in it that we have not yet obtained. So, actually, we're not that far away from it. The secret elevator that we're looking for is right above the data room, so we're basically already there. This is the one that I actually accidentally went into. So now we're going to intentionally go into it and head over to Sector 3 here. And there's actually an upgrade in this elevator. Which is a fun little thing. You don't actually need a power bomb for it, you just need a regular bomb. But screw attack blocks here. Let's see. There's a missile right here where I am going to go into the room to the right here and then reload that room, just because we need to do a speed booster thing. I believe it's called the Shine Spark. But we destroyed the floor there when we came in by screw attacking through those blocks. So you need to reload the room in order to actually have there be, you know, floor there. And I'm going to do a fancy thing. Or not. Thank you for snapping me to that ladder when I wanted to Shine Spark game. I appreciate it. So there's that one, there's the missile expansion, and then the energy tank that are all kind of in that little area. what we're gonna do now is we're gonna head this way. I believe this is a power bomb block that we need. There's a power bomb expansion just kind of chilling in this room right here. We're gonna grab that, and then we're gonna head down. There are quite a few ones down here that we just did not get beforehand. So one of them is to the left. And for this one, we're going to have to be taking a dip in the lava. So I'm not sure if it's possible to get this one without the gravity suit. It might be, but if you don't want to drive yourself crazy, bring the gravity suit for this. And you will need the power bombs as well, but, you know, if you have the gravity suit, you'll have the power bombs. So the power bombs are the less stringent requirement for this particular expansion. So now we're going to head back to the right. There's nothing else in that particular wing of the sector. And we're going to be heading to the right. And I didn't go here at all. There is a missile expansion that you can get here way earlier. But considering that we didn't have what we needed to get everything in this area, you know, I held off and coming here. If you want to get through that, you can do it with the wave beam, which I do technically have, but you can take the upper route in order to get around that if you don't have the wave beam. So what you're supposed to do with those enemies there on the platforms, those platforms are composed entirely of crumble blocks. So you actually have to, you're supposed to freeze, freeze these, you know, stand on them and then do that to get across. Or if you have the space jump, like I do at this point, you can just space jump over it. It's a lot easier. So doing that will net you an energy tank as well as a missile expansion for your troubles. You're going to want to shine spark up through this shaft. And we got one power bomb expansion on our way up, and then there's also some screw attack blocks here, and that will get us another one. And so we're actually almost done with Sector 3. So we're back in this area. I'm getting hit a lot. There are screw attack blocks here, so you can't get out of that area without them, but luckily for us, we have the screw attack. It's almost like, you know, I planned that intentionally also. Meh. So we're going to need the speed booster again for this particular area. So if you remember, I did this before. But yeah, I suppose you don't actually technically need it, but it does make it faster. And that is it for Sector 3. Fine, I'll just bomb it. We are going to head back to that area because we want to take an elevator that's up in this area. So you can see, you know, I ended up pretty close to where I wanted to be. So the elevator is off here to the right, more screw attack blocks. Most of these are closed off to you until you get the screw attack. So it really is like a cleanup loop, you know, where some of these things you can't get around until you have it. So we're done with Sector 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to want to head back to Sector 6. And there really isn't much of a better way to do that than just kind of coming back here and going through Sectors 2 and 4 again. So fortunately, this is a relatively short loop. It's another redxparasite, you know. For anyone who cares. I would say, you know, it matters to me, but it doesn't matter that much to me. I suppose I could have healed, you know, that 7. Wait, why am I going here? It's a very good question. Let's just try to make this as expedient as possible. Not a lot of stuff going on. Whoops. Oh well. We have speed, or they're not speed booster blocks. These are screw attack blocks. We have the screw attack blocks there anyways, so it's not like we can Shine Spark through that. So, going through this again. We're finally back at Sector 6. So, there's one thing that I will kind of, you know, complain about as far as routing this game is concerned. There really isn't a great way to get all of the items. Like, you're gonna have to go through a bit of a headache, no matter what. So we're back here in Sector 6, and we're actually gonna pick up the rest of the items here. So there are some speed booster blocks on that wall to the right. So we are going to need to get ourselves a charge, which we're going to do in this room here. That was just barely mistimed. But you will need the screw attack in order to get up the speed necessary for this. And this room coming up here is not one of my favorites. We need to get a bunch of platforms to appear on the sides, like between these gaps, and we're gonna need to get, you know, a Shrine Spark or a speed booster going, and needless to say, there are some. Okay, were you in like the middle there? No. Oh boy. Yeah, so we're gonna need to get that going in this room, and you'll have to activate only the ones that go across the gaps and not the ones that go up, because those will block your path. And if you mess it up, you will have to leave the room and come back. So what is super annoying about this is that I did it again. The locations where you have to lay the bombs in order to get the things to come out in the proper areas are completely, like, they don't make sense. It's like, it's trial and error. There you go. And if you mess up, you know, you're out of luck. I think that the last one's right there, please. No! Oh. This is dumb. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put this in the game. It's just why? No. And some of the locations you have to lay the bombs are so precise. It's really, really stupid, and I hate it. I don't know if I've made that clear enough, but you know. Oh, where is this one? It's not here. There we go. Ugh. There we go. Oh. I'm not a fan of this one. Ugh. And then I messed that up too. Just rubbing salt in the wound. Here we go. So that is the last energy tank in the game, actually. But one important thing to note, you're gonna need this. No! You need the speed booster to get out of here, so just make sure you get the charge before you leave that room, because there's no other way to get it. I'll be back. That is so dumb. That cements one of the, like, why that's such a bad design. It's just awful. Okay, so we're going to be going back through here again, and we need the speed booster again. This time we're going the other direction. If I could actually, you know, jump properly, would be good. So if I can do it from here, actually, that would be nifty. So you can totally do that. Sweet. Okay, so this room is a bit tricky. So you have a power bomb expansion that's kind of floating in the middle there, and what you need to do, and I was a little bit too low there, you need to drop off the side and kind of shine spark. It's a bit tricky. It's a lot easier to just kind of, and I missed it. I'm too high. It's a lot easier to show than it is to explain. And so let's see if I can actually do this time. No, I didn't fall off the platform. This is a running theme for this episode, is just my disappointment. There we go, that's low enough. Just my disappointment in the later parts of this game. And these are the reasons why I really don't 100% this game that much. You know, if I play this game, I'm usually going for 100, or not 100%, any percent. So this one, that one's a bit tricky too. You need to get the Shrine Spark on the bottom here. That entire row of blocks right there that I'm shooting are speed booster blocks, so you can't run through them. You have to go. Basically have to jump, and that's how you get that one. But yeah, there are some expansions in this game that I just find to be very, very annoying to get. And actually, speaking of annoying expansions, we've got one coming up here. So there's a Power Bomb expansion over there on the right. And you basically have to like jump off the crumble blocks or like unmorph really quickly and grab the ledge in order to get it. It's not a fun time. We're done with Sector 6 now. But yeah, just tons of expansions that are a pain in the butt to get. Routing that really just is also annoying because of the fact that they lock areas off from you. Like, we can't go to the main hub at all during this section, or else, you know, the game will lock us out of all the other areas. So you have to use those, you know, secret elevators between the sectors in order to get everything. You just have to bend over backwards. So for this one, make sure you're in the very middle here. Power Mode expansion. You only get one shot at that, or you have to reset. And one of the reasons that I wanted to route the game the way that I did is because we're very, very close to finishing the game here. This is the cutscene in the navigation room that will lock you out of getting to the other areas of the game. So I'll go through this in a second, but what I find interesting is that this will activate if you go into any of the navigation rooms in sectors 1 through 6 that lead to the main hub there, and it also activates with this one for some reason. So keep in mind that your only opportunity to get this Power Bomb expansion is now. So that's just, you know, a thing. Samus, we're done here. Leave the rest to the Federation. We should be preparing to evacuate the station. Are you joking? Do they know how dangerous the X are? How quickly they reproduce? The Federation has taken an interest in the X and SA-X. Have they learned nothing? With all the Metroid breeding programs that they've done. They believe this life form has endless potential applications. This is ridiculous. The X are heartless abominations. What potential could they have? It is not necessary that you understand such matters. The Federation is coming now. You should just leave quietly. This is madness. They won't stand a chance here. The station will devour them. What could be worth the risk? Capturing the SA-X, of course. Are you serious? Do they really think they can succeed? It will certainly be difficult. They don't expect your help. They knew you would try to destroy the SAX. That's why they stopped sending you support data. The plasma beam modification was ready some time ago, but they withheld it to keep you from engaging the SAX. Yet somehow you restored that function on your own. They also tried to withhold the diffusion missile upgrade because they didn't want you to grow too powerful, but they had already sent it and you tracked it down. Bravo, Samus. They must cancel this mission. Open a channel to HQ. I won't let this happen. They are already on their way. Fools. As soon as the Federation ships land, the X will overwhelm them and absorb the knowledge and power of their occupants. The X are just waiting for the hunt to begin, and they'll spread across the universe. Galactic civilization will end. The X hunger for form, knowledge, and power. They mimic these perfectly, but they cannot copy the soul. They're single-minded, instinctively seeking to increase in number. They're a plague, and the Federation underestimates their threat. The X must not leave here. I must destroy them all before the Federation arrives. This station has a self-destruct mechanism. I must use it to destroy the X here and on the planet. I must send them to oblivion. Them, the station, and myself, if I have to. Well, the doors aren't opening. There's only one thing to do here. Open the hatch! I've been ordered to confine you until the ships arrive. Don't let them do this. Can't you see what will happen, Adam? Adam? Who is Adam? A friend of mine. And what would this friend advise you to do now? He would know that the only way to end this is to start the self-destruct cycle. He'd know how important it is. Did this Adam care for you? Would he sit in a safe command room and order you to die? He would understand that some must live and some must die. He knew what it meant. He made that sacrifice once. So, he chose life for you, our fair warrior Samus Aran. Your Adam gave his life so that you might keep yours, for the sake of the universe. How foolish. How dare you? How could you hope to understand, machine? You know that detonating the station in high orbit would not guarantee the complete extinction of the X-parasites, even though the station would be utterly destroyed. You would only succeed in removing one obstacle to the galaxy's ruin, yourself. You would ignore this simple fact and choose death. When Adam decided who would live, he chose incorrectly. If you were to alter the station's orbit, then you might be able to include the planet in the vaporization field of the self-destruct detonation. You would have to start the propulsion sequence now, before the Federation arrives. Samus, this is your last mission. Go to the operations booth and adjust the... game cut me off! And adjust the station's orbit path to intercept SR-388. You know, Samus gets all shocked. Then return to your ship and escape. Move quickly and stay alive. That's an order. Any objections, lady? So, I do have to say, I really love this sequence. The plot of this game is good. For as much as they, corral you into one area of the game, for very long sections. I don't really like the linearity, but I have to say they did do a good job with the story. Samus actually talks in this game, and I don't think they did a terrible job of, keeping her kind of personality in line with what people have come to expect up until this point. So, props to them for all that. We do have our final mission, which is to go to the operation room, not booth, and adjust the station's orbit to basically ram it into SR-388 and blow up at the same time. I was so excited I just kind of mashed that all together. So, fortunately, we only have one more upgrade to get, and we're not locked out of getting it, don't worry. It's on the main deck. So, let's see, I am heading to the main elevator at this point. We're all good on energy tanks and missile expansions. can see, 250 missiles, 20 energy tanks. The only thing we have left is one more power realm expansion, so I should end off this episode soon, though, just because we are well over 20 minutes at this point. But I do also want to shout out the music here. It is great. This is not the only time that this plays in the game, actually. It does play, I think, one time earlier on, but, it was clearly intended for this moment here. So with that, I will leave you here. And in the next episode, we are going to be fulfilling that mission and finishing the game. So thank you very much for watching. I've been redxparasite, signing out.